Gaya ng na-report namin kanina, 4-0 na ang defending NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors ngayong season at ang average winning margin nila ay 25 points lang naman. Out of this world ang shooting display at teamwork na pinapakita ng Warriors sa panguna ng kanilang superstar na si Stephen Curry na hindi malayong mag-uwi ng kanyang ikalawang sunod na MVP trophy sa nilalaro niya ngayon. For more on the dominance of the Warriors this season, kasama natin ang basketball blogger na si Adrian Dy. Adrian, welcome back to the Score. Good to see you back. Well, are we surprised kung gaano kaganda ang nilalaro ng Warriors? I mean, we know they're gonna be good still, even though all the attention was on the Spurs,
the Thunder,
the Clippers, the Thunder, and then the isa man, the Cavs. But how good are the Warriors playing right now?
They're very good. And what's surprising para sa akin is that Steve Kerr actually predicted this nung off-season. Somebody actually asked him, can you guys sustain your performance next season? At sabi niya, I think our offense would be better, sabi niya. Because he said, the defense, he kept a lot of the same things nung Mark Jackson was head coach, so it's basically the same. But what was different with Kerr was that he installed a new offense, that there's so much more motion, and you can see the fruits of that bearing out. Medyo, sabi niya, there were some transition issues. In the first year, they weren't always perfect. They weren't always what he wanted. Pero ngayon nakita natin, even though he's not there, as we know, he's sidelined, recovering from back surgery, yung style niya has really taken off. They've really gotten into a flow, and we're seeing it in the results.
Well, kung tuusin, yung first year niya should have even been a transition period pa lang, pero champion ka agad, diba? So, for most teams, on a first year of a good coach with a new system, it takes time to grow. And they won in the first year. So this is the growing na. Would you think? So that's why he predicted that na it takes time for everything he wanted to put in to grow.
Sort of gel, diba?
Yes.
And what helps that transition is that this off-season, they didn't really make a lot of changes, diba? Trinade nila si David Lee, they got back Jason Thompson, but essentially, their top 10, maybe their top 9 guys are still the same. So that really helps in that transition process.
Okay. Tignan din natin yung quality of opponents naman na tinatambakan nila. I mean, 25 points per game ang winning margin. Hindi biro yan. Pero tignan mo rin sino tinatalo nila. Hindi naman to puro Bobcats or Hornets or
They're all Western Conference playoffs teams.
Exactly.
So twice the New Orleans Hornets, the New Orleans Pelicans, sorry.
There you go.
Sorry, Nico Baguio.
Okay, nakawa ko.
The Houston Rockets. And then today, the Memphis Grizzlies. But this was the team na when they played each other in the semifinals, everyone was saying, ito yung kontrapelo because they have two big guys, they have Tony Allen, they added Matt Barnes in the offseason to give them more perimeter defense, and yet tinalo nila by 50 big points.
Okay, we can't not talk about how amazing Steph Curry is playing. He's averaging 37 points a game compared to his 23 points a game last year. Ano na kaya niya? Is he more motivated? We know naman he's not a swapang player. He likes to pass and make plays, as we've seen as well. But why is he just so hot?
My favorite moment ng off-season was when people were still asking him, do you feel lucky that you won the title last season?
That was the key word, lucky.
At parang nainis siya. He responded sort of sarcastically, parang he's making apologies. Sorry that we were really healthy. Sorry we played the teams that were in front of us. So medyo you got the sense that he has a sort of chip on his shoulder that everyone was sort of saying, naswerte lang kayo. And we've seen it really in this season na he's hitting basically, he's taking 10.8 3-point attempts per game. He's hitting 5. So it's 50%. Almost 50% from beyond the arc. It's crazy.
Okay, and he's on a historic pace right now. I mean, the way he's playing, he's having the most points for the first 4 games. Beat Michael Jordan's record of 156, or close to Michael Jordan's record. Tama ba?
That close to.
Close to it, yeah. But when you look at it now, though, yung pace na nilalaro niya, is it healthy for the Warriors? Kasi nakita ko yung numbers si Thompson mo ba? Is it healthy for the team as a whole? It's great, they're winning, they're blowing teams out, pero healthy ba ito in the long run for them?
I think it's healthy in the sense na dahil ang daming blowouts, he actually sits a lot of the fourth quarters.
So, sa laki na nilalaro niya, scoring that much, hindi pa siya nilalaro sa fourth quarter.
Exactly. So, he's only playing about 34 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, which is about normal, di ba? For an NBA superstar. It's even fewer when you think of somebody like a Kevin Durant or LeBron James or a Carmelo Anthony. So, it's actually the best of both worlds because babad siya in the sense he's playing every game, so he's not going to get rusty, but you're also resting him for 10-minute stretches at the end of the game. That's going to keep him fresh.
So no concern about the others not being able to step up yet and their contribution dropping a bit. And I'm particularly looking at si Clay. Bumaba talaga yung scoring niya because of, I guess, everyone's scoring, they're winning, so there's no real need to put up the numbers.
Clay and Harrison Barnes, actually, if you look at their three-point shooting, Barnes is hitting about 11%, Clay is only 33%. I think eventually naman, when you see how other teams will react to Curry, they're going to start sending double teams. Before the game, the Memphis head coach was joking that we might have to send triple teams. In a very poor foreshadowing for him. So I think in the long run, it will benefit Ren because everyone's going to focus on Curry. They're going to get open shots. And as we know, even though Curry is scoring a lot, pinapasa pa niya yung bola. He's still leading the league. He's not leading the league, but he's still got a ton of fantastic assists, especially in transition. So
we've seen some of that.
Thompson and Barnes are still going to get theirs eventually.
Okay. Defense naman, of course, one of the things that kind of was overshadowed by their excellent offense last season.
Right.
You know, of course, the geeks will really find, defense talaga, they're really, really good as well. How are they still that good defensively now? Considering the fact na maybe some people were worried umalis si Alvin Gentry.
Right.
He was a big component of that whole thing. How are they still that good defensively?
Well, and to add to what you said, Andrew Bogut has been missing since the first game because he had the concussion.
Correct.
I think the prime ingredient is the resurgence of their young player, Festus Ezeli. I mean, he's been filling in for Bogut. He's averaging almost 2 blocks a game. He's younger than Bogut. He's more athletic than Bogut. Some analysts were saying na baka mid-season he might replace Bogut. And because of the early concussion, it's happened already, and it's been paying dividends for them.
All right. Well, looking ahead, they've got a few interesting games next. They've got the Clippers on Friday morning, Manila time, and then they got the Kings, and then Pistons, and then Grizzlies again. How do you see them sustaining the run? I mean, maybe they won't be undefeated, you know, for the... I don't know, it could happen, but what quality would you want to see and be consistent para sa Warriors?
I think at some point within the next week, the next 2 weeks, you want to see a come-from-behind win for them. Just to sort of show the league na kaya rin natin to.
Right. Saka para to put them through adversity.
Exactly.
Hindi puro tambakan lang.
Exactly. And they will get it because, I mean, you're the defending champions. You have a target on your back. The Clippers game is especially interesting because you know they've been talking back and forth a lot during the off-season. And the Clippers, they fixed their bench. A lot of people are saying that the Clippers were one of the teams na kung nilaban nila in the playoffs, baka that would have been a challenge. And for me personally, Blake Griffin is probably the second guy behind Stephen Curry in the MVP race now. He's been playing fantastic basketball. So if they're going to contain him, how are they going to do it? Will Draymond Green be enough? By then, bumalik na ba si Andrew Bogut or not? These things will come into play for them in that game.
So it should be a fun game on Friday. And lastly, how are they doing this without Steve Kerr? I mean, wala na si Alvin Gentry, wala pa si Steve Kerr.
Exactly.
Ganun ba kagaling si Luke Walton? Or ganun na kaganda yung pagbuo ng team na to from the last season to the summer? Is that how well-rounded this team has become?
Continuity, especially because they know what they want to do. Luke Walton was there last season. He's able to sort of preach in the same voice as Steve Kerr. And let's not knock Luke Walton. He's a pretty good coach. I mean, I would not be surprised if next season there are some vacancies. People will come calling for another member of the Warriors staff.
Well, they've done that. They like poaching from the champions like the Spurs, and they get them. So it should be a lot of fun to watch out for that game and to continue to see how far these Warriors can play this well this early in the season. Of course, it's too early to say na, you know, we're overreacting na MVP na or championship na, but still, you gotta give credit to credit's due. It's historic as well. So we'll keep our eye on that. Adrian, maraming salamat. Thanks for joining us.